The moment that left millions silent, Lee Min-ho's heartfelt thank you to Song Hye Kyo. It happened on a night drenched in elegance, under the glittering lights of Seoul's most anticipated event, the 2025 Asia Star Awards. Cameras flashed, applause roared, and the world's most beloved celebrities walked the red carpet in breathtaking perfection. But no one expected that by the end of the night, all eyes, and all hearts, would be fixed on one man standing at the podium, and the woman whose tears told 1,000 stories. Lee Min-ho had just won the Grand Excellence Award, the highest honor of the evening. The crowd erupted, the music swelled, and for a moment, he simply stood there, silent, humbled, his eyes searching the sea of faces before finally finding hers. Song Hye Kyo. Hold on tight, C-drama family. The world of your favorite celebrities is unfolding before your eyes, and every moment is more breathtaking than the last. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications right now, because trust me, you do not want to miss what's coming next. A night written in stars. She sat near the front row, radiant in an ivory gown that shimmered softly under the stage lights. Her poise, as always, was effortless, calm, composed, and graceful. Yet as Min-ho's name was called, a flicker of emotion passed through her face, the briefest, most vulnerable expression, quickly masked by applause. He walked to the stage slowly, not as the global icon fans knew him to be, but as a man carrying years of unspoken gratitude. When he reached the microphone, the hall fell silent. Even the cameras seemed to hesitate, sensing that something deeper than an acceptance speech was about to unfold. The speech that stopped time. This award, he began softly, is not just for me. His voice was calm but trembling at the edges, not with fear, but with emotion. It's for the people who believed in me when I doubted myself, for those who stood by me in silence, even when the world wasn't kind. He paused, his eyes lowering for a moment, before continuing, and tonight, there's someone in this room I need to thank, not just as an actress, not just as a colleague, but as someone who changed my understanding of strength and grace. The audience shifted, whispers rippling through the air. Cameras panned across faces, attentive, curious, until they landed on Song Hye Kyo, her hands clasped in her lap, eyes glistening. Min-ho continued, his tone quiet but unwavering. She reminded me that behind every calm smile, there is a story. Behind every success, there is sacrifice. And sometimes, the people who guide you most are the ones who never ask for credit. He exhaled softly, eyes finding hers once more. Song Hye Kyo, thank you. For teaching me kindness without words. For showing me what it means to rise, again and again, with grace. You've inspired me, as an artist and as a person. The camera captured everything. The audience gasped. Some clapped quietly, others simply watched, frozen in the gravity of the moment. Song Hye Kyo pressed her lips together, eyes shimmering as tears gathered, then fell, one, then another. It wasn't theatrical, it was real. Years of friendship, quiet respect, and unspoken history condensed into a single, fleeting exchange of glances. She smiled faintly, bowing her head slightly as if to say thank you without speaking. And Min-ho, his composure firm but his eyes soft, gave a small, almost imperceptible nod. It was the kind of connection that words couldn't fully explain, one that spoke of shared paths, mutual battles, and a deep artistic bond born out of admiration and perhaps something more tender. The world reacts within minutes, social media ignited. Clips of Min-ho's speech flooded every platform. Fans from Seoul to Singapore, Manila to Madrid, wrote messages filled with awe and emotion. He said her name. In front of everyone. That look they shared, it's unforgettable. It's not just admiration. It's deeper, like two souls who've carried each other through storms. The hashtags #Lee Min-ho speech, #Song Hye Kyo tears, and #Min-ho Kyo moment trended worldwide. Some fans called it poetic. Others called it destiny. And by midnight, millions had replayed the 90-second clip that was now being called the most emotional moment in award show history. Behind the scenes, the truth they never spoke. Insiders later revealed that Lee Min-ho and Song Hye Kyo had worked together privately months before, collaborating on a charity campaign for underprivileged youth. During that time, both were going through personal and professional challenges. Sources described their connection as deeply grounding and built on empathy, not glamour. It was then, insiders said, that Min-ho promised her quietly, "Someday, I'll thank you publicly. Properly." And on this night, under the bright lights and trembling applause, he kept that promise. After the ceremony, reporters swarmed backstage, desperate to catch even a glimpse of them together. When asked about Min-ho's words, Song Hye Kyo smiled faintly and said, "He's a man of sincerity." His words meant more than anyone knows. Later, as Min-ho left the venue, a journalist shouted from behind the barricades, "Was that thank you for friendship or love?" He paused, turned slightly, and smiled. "Gratitude," he said quietly. But sometimes, gratitude comes from the deepest kind of love. The afterglow of a moment that will never fade. Long after the event ended, after the lights dimmed and the red carpet emptied, one image lingered, Song Hye Kyo's tearful smile as Lee Min-ho spoke her name. It wasn't just an award show. It was a moment of raw humanity, two people, linked by art and emotion, acknowledging what words had long left unsaid. And as fans replayed that moment again and again, one thought echoed through the night: sometimes, the most powerful love stories aren't acted on screen, they unfold quietly, in gratitude, in tears, in the trembling voice of a man saying thank you, before the whole world. The meeting the world didn't expect. She stood quietly, her gown cascading like silk water beneath the soft backstage lighting. Her eyes were still glassy, her mascara slightly smudged, proof that her tears had been real. She wasn't the elegant icon now, she was a woman, moved beyond words. Min-ho froze when he saw her. For a heartbeat, neither of them spoke. The world outside was roaring, but in that narrow hallway, time simply stopped. Then she took a step forward. "You shouldn't have done that," she said softly, her voice trembling between gratitude and disbelief. He smiled faintly. "I meant every word." She shook her head. "You didn't have to say it on that stage." "No," he replied quietly, "I did. Because some things deserve to be said where the whole world can hear them." Her eyes flickered, torn between pride and worry. "You always do this, you wear your heart where everyone can see it." Min-ho's voice softened. "And you always hide yours too well." Silence. The kind of silence that carries everything words can't. The camera that caught the moment, dispatch's lens, hidden among stage equipment, caught it all, not invasive, but distant, respectful. A single frame captured what would soon become the image of the year: Song Hye Kyo, head tilted down, tears glimmering, Lee Min-ho standing before her, the golden award resting against his heart. Two worlds colliding in one tender, unguarded moment. No words could explain it. No rumor could exaggerate it. It was simply real. What happened next? She finally smiled, a soft, trembling smile. "You never change." He stepped closer, lowering his voice. "Neither do you. That's what makes you unforgettable." A light laugh escaped her, half relief, half sadness. "You're going to make the headlines again." He chuckled quietly. "Then let them write whatever they want. At least this time, it's the truth." For a brief second, she reached out and touched the edge of his sleeve, a gesture so small, yet so intimate it spoke louder than words. It was gratitude, affection, history, and farewell, all at once. Then, just as quickly, she let go. Dispatch's exclusive reveal the following morning. Dispatch released 3 photographs with a headline that shattered the internet. Exclusive: what happened after Lee Min-ho's speech, a silent exchange worth 1,000 words. The photos went viral instantly. In one, Min-ho was looking down at her with an expression that mixed pride and sorrow. In another, she was wiping her tears, smiling faintly. In the third, the two stood inches apart, no words, no gestures, just a connection that felt almost cinematic. Fans flooded the comments: "You can't fake that kind of emotion. This isn't acting. This is real." Their respect for each other is beautiful. Hashtags like #MinhoKyo reunion and #the moment after the speech dominated global trends. The quiet aftermath: neither of them addressed the photographs directly. But a few days later, Lee Min-ho posted a single message on his social media. Gratitude lingers long after words fade. Hours later, Song Hye Kyo uploaded a picture, a soft dawn skyline over Seoul, with the caption, "Some things don't need to be repeated. They live forever." The timing was undeniable. The world understood what they were saying, without saying it.